Good morning, everyone. It's Kimberly, and I'm bringing you another audio message. Just felt guided this morning to bring you some things that have been coming through for me. This is definitely for twin flames specifically, but also for everybody in the collective at this time. I think the message that I have for you today will resonate for many different situations, but especially for twin flames. So it is April 30th. Tomorrow is May 1st, and tomorrow is actually it kicks off the month of my 4-year YouTube anniversary. I can't really even believe that it's been 4 years. I mean, in some ways it feels like it's been longer, but I also I can't believe what has grown and spawned from this 4-year journey. I can't thank you guys enough for all of your love and support, from liking the videos and engaging with me in sessions and giving me a chance to share my light and practice with you and guide you, and plus all of the support and prayers and donations and everything you sent my way when I was going through my really hard time in my cancer journey. I'm just incredibly thankful for this community, and I just wanted to make sure that I said thank you. And it's a month for me to celebrate because it's a milestone. It's a milestone of my body and my health improving, and it's also a milestone that I didn't think I would be able to get this far, considering where I was 6 months ago. So thank you guys. I love you. I'm offering a couple of specials all month long. It's 10% off of any service, or 40% off of twin flame readings. And I'll put the codes and info below. I'll also post it on the community tab. So I just wanted to let you guys know that'll all be in motion or available to you for the entire month of May to celebrate. Okay. All right. So let's get to some of the messages that were coming through. There's been a lot of I feel like I should be posting daily, but I'm just doing so much personal processing of my own that I can't possibly share everything I'm experiencing, going through. But I'm sure eventually I'll articulate it. But one thing that's coming through, and I feel like it's going to resonate for the collective, is that we must allow for the new versions of people to come through. As I've been talking about this shift, the shift is not exempting anybody. So everybody is taking part in this shift. And as I've talked about, like, some are choosing to turn more towards the light and to make those conscious steps, even if they're slow steps, even if it's just a slow awakening. They are making the steps. They're having realizations. They're having epiphanies. They're seeing the light. They're moving more towards love. They're looking more at themselves. And this can be on a variety of levels and degrees, depending on the person and their soul's evolution. Others are going to go, like I've been saying, like more into the darkness. They're making the choice to go, maybe more into like the negative polarity. And we'll see that play out for sure on the world stage. You might even see it somewhat in your life. But I feel like there's a whole huge majority that are choosing to go into the light. So depending upon where you're at in your journey at this shift, you are going to be up. Everyone's taking a step. Everyone who's choosing to go to the light is taking a step up. So for those of, like, for me, like, I'm going to the next level, the next layer of being a leader, a teacher, a healer. I'm going to the next level of my own healing and my own journey, right? And you guys, it's the same thing. Like, you're going to go to the next level of your missions. You're going to go to the next level of your awakening and healing. It's like a graduation that's happening now. A graduation to the next level. And so for everyone, that's going to be a different context. So if you took someone who was like partially waking up or someone who is kind of sleepy, so to speak, and you look at like what this graduation might mean to them, that means that they're going to start making more conscious choices probably, and they're going to be letting like lower vibrational behaviors, tendencies go. They also might be hearing a lot of truth coming through for them, truth that they haven't heard or recognized because maybe they've been in layers of fear or denial. They might be heading towards like self-work. They might just be having like epiphanies around what their personal truth is in relationships and in work. And so, like I said, it's going to take on a variety of different formats for different people depending upon where you've been up until this point. But for each person, you can look at it as like a step towards the light and a step up. So it's not going to even the playing field, and it's not supposed to even the playing field with everyone. Those who have already been advancing on the awakening journey or ascension path are here right now to lead and to pioneer. And others will also graduate into that fold. And those who are pioneering and holding the light, like you're also holding the light for new little matches and flickers to pop up on the map. You see what I'm saying? So like do this for a moment and just imagine for me, just imagine like the map or the globe. And now I've drawn this before in channelings, but I think this is the best way to help you see it. So now like imagine that there are various light workers all around the globe who are holding up a candle. Okay. So like imagine that, like that the candle is being held up sporadically, but in all different areas and pockets around the globe. Okay, so now the space in between represents maybe those who haven't fully awakened, right? Like the dimmer lights or the lower vibrations or whatever that is. Now, some of those candles get raised higher. Those are like the pioneers, the ones leading. Your thought leaders, your spiritual leaders, your YouTubers, your teachers, your mentors, your and the ones that have like maybe a smaller candle or like let me say like the teachers, the leaders, the pioneers are like holding a torch. And then like the others might be holding like a candle. And now if you look at like, okay, there's all these torches and candles all throughout the globe, but there's also like spaces in between of dim and darkness, and these torches and candles and this light it's sporadic. It's not just one continuous light or one blanket of light. So what's happening is what we're going to see is the brighter our lights get during this shift, like new little matches are going to be struck. People are going to start holding up lighters, maybe not candles, maybe not torches, but like, when you go to a concert and people want an encore and they flick their little lighter on, like a cigarette lighter, and they hold it up in the air. Like that's what I see happening. And that this can be very, like, I know some of you on this path, like you like to feel separate, you like to label people or like feel separate. And like, I get it. Like, oh, those who are unawakened, it's hard to talk about it and not label it because it's hard to create the picture. But what I would say is like, from that perspective, if we're going to take that limited perspective, you'll be surprised at the ones who are holding up lighters. Let's just say that. They're going to be some mainstream people who you consider more like normal or however you want to label it, like unawakened or whatever. Their matches are going to get lit and they're going to be holding them up in the air. And that's what I'm saying. Like no one's exempt from this. So if people are even making a tiny conscious choice towards the light, you're going to see them come into the fold. And you'll see this through the way people speak, the choices that they make, the way they're spreading love. You'll see changes in people that you didn't expect. And it's very positive. And like I said, there's always a contrast. There's always going to be the shadow. There are those turning towards the negative polarity or the darkness, but many, 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 many are coming into the light, and they're going to be a part of that blanket of light. So now imagine the globe, imagine the torches up high, the candles, and now imagine all these little flickers, matches, lighters in the air. And now there's more light on the globe. And then there's more light, and then there's more coming into the fold, and then there's more, and then there's more, and then there's more. So that's kind of what's happening, okay? So those of you who are feeling the call to pioneer, put yourself out there, like there's a reason. And those who are just every person, even the leaders and the pioneers, they're waking up to new epiphanies, new ways of looking at things. There's going to be new technology emerging. I did get that hit yesterday when I was in a session, like actually in like 4 to 6 months from now, we're seeing a brand new technology emerge in society. It's going to happen by fall before the kids go back to school. And it very much is something that's going to create a virtual reality. It's technology based. It's going to help us through any sort of physical distancing that we may have to persevere in the future. And it's being developed right now. They're getting ready to roll it out like in August or September. It's mind-blowing technology that's coming. It's going to change our lives, this type of technology. It's like something I feel like they've been developing for years. And now because of this crisis, they've had to like speed it up and get ready to give it to the collective. We're also going to see like a lot of disclosure around just so much like in our political system, with the alien disclosure and all of that. That's all going to start to happen as well as we move. I see a lot of this disclosure, a lot of the new technology, a lot of the connection to the alien races and all of that, like how they've been helping us. I see that all emerging in August. I don't know why they're showing me August, but like there's something like really mind blowing that happens in August. And so it's almost like if it all came out right now, like people aren't up leveled enough. There aren't enough torches in the air. Aren't enough lighters. There aren't enough candles, but by August, because we'll have been in this a bit longer and like the shift we'll have undergone, we'll be deeper into the shift. We'll be turning more towards the light. Like we'll be ready to receive some of that disclosure that would have maybe, prior to the shift have created some sort of pandemonium. Okay, so that's that piece. Now let's talk about your personal situations. Let's talk about what this means for you in your twin flame relationships, in your love relationships, in your familial and friendship relationships. So a lot of you are coming into your power. I'm seeing it so much. My clients, wow, like you guys are doing. I have had the most uplifting sessions in the past month because I'm just watching you all, just evolve and come into your power and say no to this and say yes to this and say yes to yourself and watch you learn the tools and watch you awaken and watch you be open and truthful to yourself. And it's really beautiful work. And I know many of you are doing it and I'm proud of you. And I think we're all still doing it. Your healing's never done. It's never complete. It's a process, but so coming into your power, coming into your truth, some relationships, karmic, or those that are lower energy, lower vibrational, things that weren't meant to last or persevere through this shift, that aren't in accordance for your highest timelines on the other side of this, that aren't gonna, if two people are in a different vibration and you didn't see it, like you didn't see that with your karmic partner or whoever you're with prior to this shift, what's going to happen is after this shift or during this shift, you're going to see it and something vibrationally will cause you to separate. And I'm not talking about twin flame separations. I'm talking about complete karmic endings, like complete, like this person's of another vibration and you're meant to up level. And so it's almost in a way mirroring or similar to what feels like an eclipse season, because those relationships are eclipsing right now. And also, it's not just relationships, it's also like job and work scenarios, like anything that's not in alignment for your truth. Like you'll hit the point where you're like, I just can't go back to that vibration. Like you'll see you're becoming a new version of yourself as we go through this shifting, excuse me, the shift in consciousness. So as I talked about in my last video, like your bodies are renewing, your cells are renewing, your consciousness is up leveling. You are literally not going to be the same version of yourself that was stuck in the old paradigm. And things that are being cleared are items like persecution, and like a lot of persecution is being cleared. A lot of people are coming into their power. There's a lot of low vibrational behaviors that are being let go. There's a lot of denial that's becoming like illuminated so that the truth can come through. There's a lot of alignment with true purpose. This is all in the works. It's all happening. So if you get sort of annoyed if the quarantine extends, or if, this continues, like just remember that like at a higher level, this has to go on for a bit longer, because the shift is not happening overnight. It's a process. Everyone's shifting. It's like a process. Like if we just all like woke up tomorrow in a higher consciousness, like it's just like a healing process. It's an evolution. So like in this pandemic and the quarantine, it's all part of helping us to navigate and to be in the shift as long as we need to get to that next level, to graduate. Okay. So when you have people around you in relationships, situations that aren't vibing with you anymore, like they will need to end or be let go of. And a lot of that will be acknowledged or even taken action upon during this time. Like either you'll take action on it now, or the universe will cause something to end. Like I said, very similar to an eclipse season, what we're feeling right now, especially during May. May seems to be like May and June. It feels like, even before the eclipses, the next eclipses, there might be some endings coming, and you're like going to have to kind of look at it like, well, this is a blessing. The universe is urging me onward. It might hurt, it might sting. You might be like, oh shit, I don't have a job anymore. Oh, I didn't see that ending in that relationship coming, but like deep down you did, and deep down you knew it's time, and deep down you knew you were miserable in that job, and deep down you knew that relationship wasn't right for you. And like it's just really your higher self lining up with your higher self and the universe helping you along. So trust in that. If you experience any of that in your personal life, whatever context it is for you. And now, here's the big thing. The big thing is people are also going to show up and really surprise us. So I'm talking people of other generations, like parents, grandparents, who you may have thought were stuck in the old paradigm or something. They're never going to change. They're going to start to change, some of them. Twin flames. Twin flames are going to come back in. They're going to reconnect. They're going to reappear. Might be for check-ins or reunions. And they're going to show up in new versions of themselves. And this is real. Like it's a real shift. Everyone's shifting. And you have to allow the person to show up in the new version of themselves. So I know it's really hard for our 3D minds, because especially if we've had hurt or resistance with this family member, with this soul partner, with this, you want to kind of hold them in the old memory or the old paradigm. But like now more than ever, and the whole basis for this particular video is to just remind you that that version of yourself no longer exists, and that version of that person no longer exists. And so if there's resentments or any sort of way that you're looking or viewing at that person that's still stuck in that old paradigm, you're going to need to let it go to allow the relationship to move forward, whatever that relationship is, familial or love or romantic. The only way the relationships will harmonize is if you're both willing, if both parties are willing to see each other in a future light and in the present version. You won't harmonize if you're still viewing through the lens of your fear or through the lens of the past. You actually are being forced to create the space for the new version of the person to come through, and it's going to create an even more mass upleveling. You actually are doing this by allowing, it's almost like the Fool card in relationships. You're having to like wipe the slate clean. It's not that your memories are null and void. It's not that your lessons or experiences are null and void with these people. But if there's any type of like renewal, reunion, or healing, and those are important words. These are the scenarios I'm talking about where you feel like, wow, this person's changing. Wow, this relationship's healing. Wow, this is a renewal. Those are the things that you'll be saying to yourself. This is what I'm talking about. It's with those people that we're going to need to see with real eyes who they're becoming and not hold them to the past or previous versions of themselves. Because in doing that, we still see them through the lens of fear and through the old paradigm. So it's really important if you have a reconnection with someone or a healing with someone, you allow them to show you the new version of who they are. And you also allow yourself to express and be in the new paradigm as the version that you are in this moment and who you are becoming. None of us are the same anymore. This is going to also cause another level of karmic clearing, because what it does is it's helping us to release any karma, any negative energy that we've had with these people. And that's why it's creating healings. Letting go of resentment, understanding that the past is the past and it does not create the future. You create your future. You create the future reality. And as these relationships heal and harmonize, you get to create a new future reality and a new timeline with these people, including twin flames. So I will leave you with that. I don't think much more needs to be said around that, because it's powerful, that thought and those words. And I know if you sit with it and you let that register and you practice this and you start to see and open your eyes to see, it might be hard to believe some people are showing up changed or showing up more enlightened or showing up in a different or better version of themselves. But believe it, because they are. And this is the positive aspect of the shift that we're in. And if you're so lucky and so aligned to receive this positivity, to witness it, to be part of it, to create new contracts. I mean, you are creating new contracts with people too. It's like in doing this and showing up in a new version, in a higher dimension, in a graduation of where I'm not saying at the same level. I'm not saying that like you and the father figure that you had all this turmoil and trauma with are going to, be at the same level of awakening. But you might see that father figure who hurt you and abused you, like show up like really sorry, apologetic, maybe realizing who they are, coming more into their truth, more in a love state. And if you hold them to the past version of what they are, it's not going to be able to harmonize the relationship. Do you understand? And in the same sense, it's the same thing. If they hold you into who you were, it won't be able to heal. So this is where we're really needing to work on releasing the past and understanding that we are creating their future reality. We have a huge opportunity here with new soul contracts, old ones, being sort of ripped up in a renewal, a better contract. It's like imagine if you like just where do we have contracts? Like I automatically think of like at a gym, like you sign up for a gym membership, you have a contract and it renews every month. Sometimes you don't even think about it. The funds come out automatically and it's just like this ongoing contract. But you might get sick of going to that gym and you might not like that they don't get new equipment and it might be dirty and there might be things that you're unhappy with, right? And then you go to them, you're like, yeah, I'd like to end my membership. I'm just going to go to another gym or I'm going to work out from home or whatever. And they're like, no, 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 no. We're making all these improvements. We're actually getting all new equipment this week. And we're under new management now. And give us a chance. So let's make a new contract. You know what? We'll give you a better deal and give us a chance because we'll show you that there's new equipment and it's going to be cleaner now and we're under new management. And so you do, and so you renew it under a new management and you allow for the changes, right? And this is what we need to do. There's a lot of trust involved here. Okay. So I'll leave you with that. I love you guys. I hope that's helpful and I will talk to you soon. Okay. Bye.